So, don't hit rewind. It's always a good time with this trans man. It's always a good time with Zion.
Welcome back to the channel. As y'all can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the time that I was engaged. One of the stupidest things I ever did in my motherfucking life. Not the act of being engaged, but the person I proposed to, the timing, all that was wrong. That's what I mean when I say that. Would it be nice to be engaged one day again and do it the right way? Absolutely, but I went about that shit all wrong. It's something I should have never went through with. So I'm gonna tell y'all what led to that happening. So my ex and I, we this was last year, by the way. We was engaged from July to October. My ex and I, like, the way the story starts, we was broken up, and I was trying to do everything to get back with her. Well, why we broke up, if y'all want to go watch my breakup stories, it's in there. That's the same ex I'm talking about. I'm gonna call her Rachel for this story. I was doing everything to try and win her back, paying for shit, trying to be around her all the time, trying to help her with different things, be her support, whatever the fuck she needed, I was there. And eventually she started warming up to the idea of us being together again. But she kept putting this big ass wall up, right? And her trans mother at the time was trying to convince her to give me another chance, but she wasn't trying to hear it. So she got to this final conclusion after we kept arguing about it. I kept begging, she kept saying no. Then she was like, all right, if you want to be with me, I'm gonna need two things. One, I'm gonna need a ring. So she asked me for the ring. That's how this whole thing was really getting started. She asked me for the ring. I'm gonna need a ring, and I want you to propose to me on my birthday. And I was like, mind you, when she said this shit, it was like, I'm trying to remember what date it was. It was like June 20th or something. Her birthday was in like 2 weeks. So she wanted a ring by then. And the other thing she wanted was for us to be in a polyamorous relationship. Not that you can't, like, be in a situation like that, but it's like the timing of being poly and then starting an engagement with someone, I just don't think that's something that should be done at the same time. There's too much going on. Like, y'all trying to move up to the next level of relationship, trying to get back together for one, then trying to move to the next level of your relationship, and then also bringing other parties in. That's too much going on. Like, I feel like do the engagement, make sure y'all stable, y'all gonna stay together and all that shit, and then if you still are interested in the poly thing and y'all both want it, then do it. But I didn't want the shit. I just wanted her back. So I was desperate. I was willing to do anything. So I was like, fine, she want a ring? I'm gonna get her a ring. She want to be in a polyamorous relationship and be talking to other niggas while she's talking to me? So be it. Wasn't happy about this shit at all. But I was like, at least she's gonna give me another chance now. So I went on Amazon. I'm looking at rings and shit. The best I could do was get her a ring that it couldn't have been more than $350, maybe less than that. And I had the cash on me already because I was staying at her apartment when she told me this shit. I had the cash on me already, so it was getting late and she was gonna cook dinner. So she was like, why don't you go put money on the card, my Cash App card, and then order it tonight so they could get to your house as soon as possible. So I said, okay, fine. I got my shit together and I got on the train, and I went to find a Dwayne Reed that was still open, because some of them are 24 hours, some of them are not. So I put the 300 something down, I ordered the ring on my way back, and then boom, it was coming. So she had picked out the ring and everything. Like, I was looking at, I looked at a few rings. She picked out which one she liked the best. And she was like, okay, this one is nice. They got it in her finger size. Her finger was, I think, size 10. In retrospect, we should have got a size 11, but yeah, we got the size 10. She knew which ring it was going to be, all that, everything. And we waited for it to come in to my house. So that was that, right? And then I had to plan the actual engagement. And the whole time I'm thinking about how the fuck am I about to do this shit. She wants to be proposed to on her birthday. Her birthday was around the corner. Like, I had to plan this entire thing in like a week and a half. Not even. And it was just so much going on because I had a trip to DC coming up with my family. And then I also had my orientation for writer at the same time coming up. And that was an overnight thing, and I had to plan for that. And it was just a lot in that last week of June because her birthday is the first week of July. So I was very stressed out during that time. And she was basically like 65% planning the entire engagement. Like, she knew the whole thing. Like, y'all know how it's normally supposed to go. Like, yes, y'all can have a conversation ahead of time. Like, at some point, I'd like to take this next step with you. And then when you're on the same page with that, you let whoever's going to propose plan it out. And, surprise, that kind of thing. Like, that's how I would like to do it. But I was so dang desperate for this relationship. I didn't care that she knew. I mean, I cared, but not enough to not go through with it. Let's put it like that. Not enough to not go through with it. So, and I just felt this sense of security again because I have abandonment issues and a couple of other mental things. So once I felt like I was for sure gonna have a girlfriend again, then a fiance at that, my anxiety and all this shit calmed down, and I was just focused like get all this shit together and make sure it goes exactly how she wants it to go. So that y'all be good. She had the songs picked out. One of them was a Jodeci song, Forever My Lady, I think it's called, something like that. And then the other song was, forgive me if I pronounced the name wrong, Tamia, Can't Get Enough. Yeah, that song. She wanted the Jodeci song when she was coming out. She first sees everything I had set up for the engagement. Then she wanted the Tamia song after she said yes and everything and everyone's around and stuff like that. Planned out to a T, you hear me? Like, planned out to a T. Like, I picked out the props and stuff, but she was trying to figure out where we could do it at and all that. I was calling around to the trans people that I was cool with at a point in time. And it's crazy because in the midst of all this planning, she met damn near my entire, like, when I say my family, I mean not my grandma yet, but she met my grandfather, my uncle, my mother, because my mother was at this event that we went to, that I took her to, and a couple of other aunties and uncles, because it was my uncle's painting. He was having like I'm forgetting it, like an event for people to see his artwork, because he's an artist. So that shit was happening in Brooklyn, and I took her with me that day. I didn't think my mom or my grandfather was going to be there. I wasn't too nervous about her meeting my uncle, because I was like, he'll be mad chill about it, it's not a big deal. But she ended up meeting my mom and my grandpa that day. And I was communicating with this guy who owns this bar in Brooklyn. I feel like I've mentioned this before in one of my earlier story times, if it sounded familiar to y'all. Because he had a spot, and I was like, yo, could I use that little outside area outside the bar to propose to her? And he was like he was gonna agree to do it, kind of, but he wanted to check the calendar and see if they had, because they would host events sometimes, and he wanted to make sure that was gonna work and coincide with everything and not interrupt anything they already had scheduled. But at the same time, I know he was feeling some kind of way, because he definitely wanted my ex at a point in time when she first came up to New York, but she picked some other guy over him. She never really gave him a chance, like, ever. So here I was, just the next guy that she picked, and he wasn't really feeling it, but he was gonna look into it. Then these other people that had this organization, I was asking if I could use their space to do it, but they were gonna be out of town or some shit like that. I don't know. So that was out already. I was potentially looking at this Brooklyn spot, and I was kind of stressing because it's like she wanted a grand gesture, like she wanted all these people there, everyone to see, like a big old production, like flowers, all this extra shit. That's what she wanted. So I was trying to fulfill everything that she asked for, like everything. I had gotten like the letters that say marry me, that light up from Amazon, and then I got like those rose petals, and I was trying to spread them everywhere. That was the goal. So when she walks up, she sees the rose petals, and then they marry me, and then yeah, and I'm standing there, So that, we ended up just doing it right at her apartment, because on the second floor there was a balcony type thing, and I had to ask the people in the building if that would be okay. They were cool with it. I was cool with some of them. She was cool with some of them. Like, they have those services and stuff, that kind of thing in the building. So they were totally cool with it, as long as I ran it by them and all that. I was like, okay, bet. So that was the spot. The location was her apartment, the balcony. I had ordered some of the stuff to her house because I was like, I don't want to have to drag all this from Jersey to New York. And it's like, you already know about it, so shit. Then all that shit got delivered while I was in DC. The rose petals, the letters, all the props and everything got delivered to her apartment. And she had called me while I was at the event that I went to. It was like, oh, they're here. I just opened them. It looks so pretty. Oh my God, I'm getting excited now. Like, acting like that. And I was like, okay, it's working. Because I was so damn anxious about the shit. And I had little to no control over a lot of my emotions when it comes to like relationship stuff. And like, this girl had me in a motherfucking chokehold. I was like, I don't want to be alone. Like, the idea of being alone was so scary to me. And that's some shit I really had to sort out this past year. But like I said, I was willing to do anything. Then the ring came a couple of days before my orientation at Ryder, and it was crazy because I was supposed to come home the day that it came, but I had to come the next day because it was pouring rain outside. I didn't want to go back home in the rain all the way to Jersey, so I was like, I'll just go tomorrow. My grandma told me just come tomorrow. Tell me why my mom sees the package, and it's like the Amazon package is just like they had it in the box, right? Like it wasn't obvious. Like, the packaging wasn't obvious, but the shape was. And my mom had figured it out immediately. She didn't say, are you about to go propose to this girl? But she could tell, like, the box was right in the middle. Like, it was so obvious it was just a little box. And she sends a picture of the box in the group chat, and then goes, the family group chat that had her, my grandparents, and my uncle, her brother. And she goes, did you order some jewelry? I was like, oh shit, not her asking if I ordered some jewelry. Yo. And I was like, yeah, what is it? A necklace? Lying my ass off. I'm like, maybe she'll think it's like wrapped up a lot of something. Oh, okay. She knew. Like, yeah, she saw some bullshit as y'all could see from plenty of other stuff, but that intuition shit don't be fucking lying. Like, she had that shit, like, for a lot of things that she didn't speak on, but that's what she chose to fucking speak on, the fucking ring. So as soon as I got home the next day, I hid that shit. I took it, I hid it in my drawer, and everything, under a bunch of shit. When I went to my orientation at Ryder, I took the ring with me. I was so scared they were gonna come and look through my shit, or she was gonna come and find the package, or just somehow figure out where the box was. So I took the ring with me to Ryder, and I brought it back, and I just always had it close by. Even when I would go to New York, back and forth, I never left the ring here when I was in here. So by then, this is getting to like the very, very end of June. I got the props and everything. It was all at her house. I had the venue set, her apartment. We had the music. I don't know if I said this, so I'm going to say it one more time. I'm so sorry for repeating it. But the two songs she wanted was the Jodeci, Forever My Lady, and Tamia, Can't Get Enough. So I had the songs ready, had them downloaded, ready to go. I was going to use her speaker that I had got for her. I was going to use her speaker that I got to play the music. And then I had to get my outfit together. I had all red on. I wish I could show y'all the pictures so bad, but I can't. Oh my God, I want y'all to see. She be like, what the but I can't show y'all. Yeah, I can't show y'all. I can't. But I had all red pants. It's funny because I'm wearing red pants now. But I had these red dress pants on. a red button-up vest, all white button-up shirt underneath. Um, yeah, and my black dress shoes that I had. May or may not have earrings on. I don't remember, but yeah. So I had my outfit set, and her trans mom didn't know that she didn't know, and she sent her this dress to wear. She was like, just wear this on your birthday. I think it'll look really nice and good in it. There's a surprise coming for you. She kept dropping like little hints, but not saying too much, even though this bitch knew she was fucking getting proposed to. She fucking knew. So she had her dress that she was gonna wear and all that. So pretty much everything was set. By the time the July 1st rolled around, everything was set. It was just a matter of timing everything. Because she wanted all these people there, like different trans men and women that she knew, but pretty much everyone backed out. I mean, some people just didn't answer. And mind you, she was sending out the invites acting like she was me on my phone. Like, hi, I'm gonna propose, almost said her name. I'm gonna propose to Rachel. If you wanna come make it, I'm doing it at her apartment, da 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 da. Let me know if you can make it. But pretty much nobody from the outside showed up. Even if people that said they were thinking about it or they would come, they didn't come. So that was that. And she had wanted her trans mom to fly up here. She was in Georgia, so she wanted her to come all the way up here, but she couldn't make it because it was just too soon. Like, she asked for this shit like 2 weeks before her birthday, and I had like a week and a half, once a couple days passed, to finish planning everything. And you expect people to book flights and all this shit? That's OD. So I didn't even get mad at her trans mom couldn't come, but she was torn up about this shit. So yeah, so we get to the day of, fast forward. This was all the planning. Very stressed out during this time. Oh my god. But once I was like, okay, I have this, I have that, I have this, I'm good. Kept checking in with the building to make sure it was okay. And then they ended up just telling, like, she had some friends in the building, so they came to watch. And then, because word started spreading, Rachel's about to get proposed to, go to the balcony. Pardon me, I had to burp. So it was different people from the building and her friends that came to watch, and then some of the workers who worked in the building too, also came. So then they helped me set it up too. Two of the ladies there. Shout out to y'all, even though the relationship ended up being a disaster. Shout out to y'all for taking the time out of y'all busy day to help me out. I do appreciate that. Had to put that in there because I think I was stressed. You hear me? So they helped me with the rose petals. It was like a long passageway that led all the way to this lower end of the balcony thing. So that's where I was gonna do it at. So that someone's gonna walk her all the way out, past all the tables and chairs, take a couple steps down, boom, there I am. And she was gonna open her eyes right before. They were gonna tell us to open her eyes right before she got to the steps. So it was mad windy at that time. So the rose petals just kind of went everywhere, and it was fine because it would still look decorated. And then we ended up just laying the letters down like this. They were supposed to stand up like this, but the wind was just not. The letters were too light, like the material and everything. So we laid it down. So it said "Marry Me" or "Marry Me" like that. Boom. So we had it lined up. I had the speaker. Yeah, I had the speaker playing the Jodeci song. So that started playing. I had it on a loop because I was like, let's see how long. I don't know exactly how this is about to play out, so I'm just gonna have it on a loop so she hears that song. I was like mentally checking constantly. Is it this how she wanted it? Is this how she wanted it? So I was getting so nervous. And I think she could tell. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a bit of an attitude because I was like, I did not want to go through with this shit at all. But I was like, I just want her back. That my brain was just very black and white at the time. Just, I have to do this. That's what I was feeling mentally. So I definitely went to the extremes with this shit. But yeah, that's what I did. And she was like, I don't know what's going on with you. And she just kind of left because we didn't really see each other that much leading up to it. I didn't want to be around her too much because I knew deep down inside my soul and my spirit was not sitting right with this shit, and I didn't want to do it. And she was starting to sense that. But I took that shit out of my head temporarily just so I could get through with it because I was so dang nervous. And I went down around 5 p.m. to the workers like, I'm ready. Then they wanted to see the ring. So I pulled out the ring, right? And they're like, oh, you know, I don't know what the hell they were expecting from me. But I don't know what they were expecting. But I'm like, they're like, where'd you? No, it was when I told them I got it from Amazon. They were like, oh. I'm like, listen, I was not going to motherfucking K Jewelers or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't got K Jeweler money right now. I had enough to get this and pull this shit together the best I could. This is what it's gonna be. So they're like, yeah, she's gonna love it. And then one of them was like, I know that's right. In case you gotta return that shit. I was like, yo. Which I wish it didn't work out sooner than that so I could have got my money back. But it is what it is. I held on to that shit for so damn long that I didn't sell it or anything. Like, it was just emotionally I couldn't let it go, even though it didn't work out. But at the time, that's just what it was. So I showed them the ring, and then we started going up. Everything had been set already, or that might have been right before we set it up. Then they was like, we're gonna go get Rachel, make sure she's good, get her out to the balcony. So one of them brought it out there, and from the video, I could explain because I saw the video. A couple people were recording. So from the point of her coming out, they had her covering her eyes. She just had her eyes closed, and she's walking out in her dress and everything. And they're like, keep your eyes closed, da 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 da. You're gonna get to the end, and don't open them until we say so, or something like that. So she's going. She's like, everyone's watching her. The music's playing. I'm on my knee. As soon as I could hear her voice, I got on my knee, and she got to the top of the stairs, and they told her to open her eyes, and she goes, oh my God, oh my God, what? Like, trying to do all this extra dramatic shit, like she had no fucking idea. I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting there smiling like this. I can't even do it. But on the inside, I was like, this bitch, would you cut the see, I can't even talk. Can you cut the shit. Theatrics. Cut the theatrics, please. Let's get this bullshit over with. Trying to act. Oh my God. Like, that shit pissed me off because I'm like, yo, you doing a lot. Like, your astrological sign is a Cancer, but you really doing extra than that. Like, damn. So she's walking down the stairs and she's stopping. I'm trying to reach for her hand so I can hold her hand and then have the ring or whatever, you know. I was trying to just do it. But she was doing too much. And in the video, you just hear someone say, you better grab that man's hand. I was like, please, like, grab the shit. Like, I can't be like this forever. Oh my God. So she gets all the way to me. And they're like, we know you've been through, someone in the background going, we know you've been through a lot. Da 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 da. We just want you to be happy. What does that say? She said, marry me. It says marry me. And then she read what it said. And they're like, so what do you say? What do you say? And by this point, she's holding my hand. And she's like, yes, yes. And I was like, would you marry me? She's like, yes, yes. Everybody's like, woo, you know, all that shit. All that shit. I'm like, finally, she fucking said yes, meaning we're back together. That's all I had in my fucking head. She said yes. So I'm trying to put the ring on the girl's finger, Lord. I almost put on the wrong ring, and all you hear is them go in the video, wrong hand, wrong hand, wrong hand. Like, yo, I wish I could show you so bad. But I don't want to see this one day and be like, are you talking about me? Da 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 da. Try to sue me or some shit. You know, I don't even know what you call that, but like I can't put it in there. But I want to so bad because I just I'm playing it back in my head. So yeah, so I almost put on the wrong hand, the wrong finger, all that. And they helped me out. They was telling me I was so damn nervous. So I was putting on. Then we hugged, we kissed, all that, you know, da 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 da, cheering, woo, right? So then I switched to Me I Can't Get Enough song, right? Then somebody had a bottle of Stella. I think that was our bottle. That I had got. Yeah, that was her birthday bottle for the day. That's what she asked me to get. So I went to the liquor store early and I got her that shit. But then the wind was so fucking powerful that the shit fucking burst or something, or somebody knocked into it. Something happened, but I think that it just burst because of the wind. Like, that's how windy it was that day. And then some of the Stella got in her eye, so I was trying to get it out of her eye, and I was like, fuck. So I did the best that I could with that. Then everybody was, walked away, went back to doing their business and all that. Then we took everything inside, and then we went to, I'm going to remember the name later, but we went to this buffet thing in the Bronx. I just can't remember what the fuck it's called. Yeah, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but we went there. She had been wanting to go. We had went there once before, but she really wanted to go there for her birthday, so I took her there to eat for her birthday. So she had the ring. We were technically in a poly relationship now. I don't know if y'all remember that from earlier, but technically now we was in a poly relationship, and she had a ring. So I was like, okay, and then she went and changed her status on Facebook to engaged, and then that's when I really calmed down, because I'm like, okay, she wouldn't do that unless she was serious. So yeah, I did all this crazy shit just to get back with this bitch, just for it not to fucking work out. I would never do something like that again. I really had to work through this in therapy. Like, it was so embarrassing, but I had to, because I was like, I cannot hit rock bottom like that again. Like, nah, it's not that serious, yo. Like, she wasn't the one at all. Who the fuck plans their own engagement damn near? Like, who does that? And it's like, you can't get back to me, let you propose to me, and we got to be in a polyamorous relationship. So we dealing with that. I'll just touch on that briefly. We was dealing with that, and I was so nervous about who she was gonna bring in that I brought somebody in from my past. This man I used to deal with. Cause I'm like, at least it's a man. He's very sweet and everything. We just don't agree with certain lifetime goal things, so we wouldn't work for real. But he's a cool ass dude. I will say that. He's very smart, very intelligent, easy on the eyes, So I was like, do you want to get to know him? I was like, I know how he is in every way. So I was like, at least let me try and get someone that I know, so I could be at ease with this poly shit. So she's like, okay, I'll get to know him. I kind of threw her off when I first brought it up, but I was so scared because she hadn't picked anybody yet. So I was like, let me just jump the gun. So we met up with him one time, one or two times. I'm gonna make that a separate story time. I'm not gonna get into that because this is getting a little long now, but I will touch base on that, what our poly relationship was like. But the first person we brought in was someone that we were both trying to be with, but it didn't last long because of some reasons. It's funny because they both cancers too, but just two completely different cancers, like polar opposite cancers. But yeah, so that's pretty much how all that ended, because when he first came into her life too, it was also around her birthday, so I just figured I'd add that to the story. But I'm gonna do a story time about our experiences being poly, and just start with that, with the first dude we brought in, and us trying to be poly again down the line, and a couple of other things, and I'll just make a video about polyamorous relationships. But yeah, so that's the story of when I was engaged. Yeah, I know how it ended, the cheating and all that shit. Yeah, but that's in the breakup story video if y'all want to watch that. But I'm gonna have a story time soon coming about a bunch of other things. I have a long list of shit, y'all. It's a lot of good content coming y'all way, and I hope y'all enjoying it so far.